Welcome to Go Off and Create the podcast, a podcast where we talk to all kinds of people about how they go off and create. I'm your host, Cam, and today we're sitting down with me. I realize that you all don't really know what Go Off and Create is or who I am, so I just wanted to give a little bit of an explanation. So, what is Go Off and Create? Go Off and Create is actually a design boutique or a branding boutique, if you will. Just a little tangent though, I don't know if anyone has another word for branding. I don't know why, it may just be me, but for some reason, I just feel like that word has been used so much in the past few years. So if there is another word for branding, let me know in the comments or whatever, because I genuinely want to know what else can encompass that. Anyway, but we are a branding boutique. I design logos, marketing materials, whether it's like social media marketing or email marketing, or even printed materials like a flyer. I've done book covers, magazines. I do websites as well using a website builder, and I'm still doing that now. Go Off and Create has been a business for probably like 6 years now, and I enjoy doing these things. So those are services are still available. If you go to the website, that is what will be talked about there. And I also added the podcast element. Why podcasting? I'm not new to the podcasting game. I used to host a podcast some years ago with friends, and I really enjoyed doing that. It was fun to be able to interview people and just kind of see what they have going on. So this is the first year where I've actually been able to do the Go Off and Create podcast how I wanted to do it, with the visual element and being able to put it on YouTube. I was podcasting with Go Off and Create before, but it was simply audio and it was just on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And now I am able to have this video element, and it's really important to have that because I wanted you all to be able to visually see the people that are on the podcast and just to see what they're doing with their lives. And as I said, like how they're going off and creating. So that's why the podcasting is an element of Go Off and Create the business, because I just genuinely enjoy telling people's stories or having people tell their own stories. And I also never wanted to use my social media platforms to be brand centric. I didn't want to use it to just talk about branding and things like that. I wanted to use it to talk about how people go off and create. And I figured the podcast will be the best format to do that. So that's why I really wanted to be able to have this visual element as well. So that way we can post about it there. And I do post about the podcast on social media. So if you want to see clips and pictures, then I advise you to follow the Instagram page because you'll see more of it there than probably on YouTube. But I enjoy doing this and I enjoy having you all along for the ride. Now, what is the podcast structure? The podcast structure is 30 minutes duration. I intentionally didn't want to have long episodes because I know people got stuff to do. People's attention spans are shorter. And so I wanted to make sure that I was able to give you a lot of information or give you informative takes in 30 minutes or less. If it goes over 30 minutes a little bit, that's fine. But I'm really genuinely not trying to have it be an hour plus. I don't want to hold up anybody's time too much. And we also release the podcast once a month, and that's because that works with my schedule. And so it's once a month, and I record in batch content. I do batch content. So I record 3 episodes in the day, and then they get released. And the way I'm able to record those is with the help of Kiana, who also has a business called the Davis Branch Business. So make sure you check that out. She's wonderful. And she's a low-key producer too, because she keeps me in line. She keeps the time, again, 30 minutes. So I really do enjoy having her be a part of this process because it would not be here if she wasn't here. So yeah, so once a month, 30 minutes. And that's really all the time that I really want to be able to dedicate to that. A little bit more about me. As I said before, I'm a graphic designer and I've been doing this for close to 20 years. And I graduated from the Art Institute of Atlanta, and that school's no longer around anymore. So you don't have to look it up or anything. It's not, you could, but they're all closed. And I got my start in publication design. I got my start doing magazines. And so I haven't been doing magazines for the whole 20 years, but I've been doing it at the beginning of my career. But I love all 4 facets of graphic design. It's not just magazines. I do like doing logos. I do like doing the marketing pieces, the book covers. I think there's so much different avenues you can go down for graphic design, and I thoroughly enjoy doing that. But also, with running Go Off and Create as a business, I also do work for a company. And so that's why I have to regulate my time a little bit when it comes to the podcast. So that's why the podcast is once a month. I think that's also why there's 30 minutes too, because I have to make sure I utilize my time as best as possible. So yeah, so wearing multiple hats, as some of you may do, it's not the easiest thing to do. And so that's why I try to make sure that there's balance in what I'm doing. Things that bring me joy is music. I like to listen to a lot of music, all kinds of music. So I find it to be cathartic. And therefore, I just let the playlist do what it does. I go all over the place, from Disturbed, Evanescence, to have Little Mo in my rotation right now. Even Forrest Frank, which is faith-based rap. So that keeps me going a lot of the time. I don't know, music just makes me happy. I also enjoy ideation and brainstorming, not just for my project, but for other people's projects as well. I don't know, that's just fun to do, to be able to sit there and connect dots and think of different things. I'm not necessarily always the one that needs to like make it happen, but I just like to be able to provide that. I'm a team player. I like to be a team player. But hopefully that gave you a little bit more insight to me, to Go Off and Create, and also the podcast. Again, subscribe on YouTube, like on YouTube, comment on YouTube. If you want a little bit more photos and videos and clips, then check out our Instagram page. We're also on Substack, where I do try to give a little bit of different content, a little bit more behind the scenes stuff. It's not always easy, okay? We're a small team, a small crew. So sometimes I don't get the content, but please check us out there as well. And thank you.